Hello and welcome to my channel and my very first video, very first ever. Today I have a process video for you which uses mostly an older hip kit from earlier this year. This cut file is from Confessions of a Paper Addict. Just love those waves. And the paper from this is the Heidi Swap artwork. I didn't want to waste any of it, so I used just the bottom half, and then I'm actually using the top half as well to pop it up there. You can see I have my distress oxides nice and handy. I'm going to be using those for a bit of mixed media. I'm also going to be using a Prima stamp pad that came in an earlier hip kit as well. First, I must also apologise. I do an awful lot of toing and froing trying to decide what colours and what things I'm going to use on my pages. So I've tried to edit it down as fast as I could for you. But yeah, hopefully it won't be too bad. Okay, so this is also a stamp that was in an earlier hip kit. And that colour from the Prima is called Summer Vibes. The three oxides that I've got there are, the lightest one is the Tumbled Glass, then there was Stormy Sky and Faded Jeans. Faded Jeans has got to be one of my favourite oxides. I just love that dark blue. I'm pretty random with the way I've stamped on this. I'm just going for it here, there and everywhere with all three of the colours, just to get a good base, because I know that some of it's going to be covered up with that strip of paper that's going on the top again. So I gave it a little bit of a mist with some water, and then I've used my water pen to actually drag some of it through. I've added some splatters as well, because you can't have too many splatters, can you? So then I also distressed the top. I just used my nails to do that because I'd already stuck it down, so it was too late to get out the distress tool. Then I decided I needed some more stamping, which would be behind the other strip of paper that I'd had the cut file adhered to by then. This is still the same stamp set that I was using on the top area, the one from Hip Kit Club, that is, and also I'm using the same stamping ink colours. And again with the splatters, because you just can't have too many splatters. I love the way that the oxides look after you've given them a bit of a spray. Now I decided at this stage to add some stenciling. So this is a Vicky Burton stencil, and that's the Vicky Burton Prism Glaze. So I just used my stencil brush to put a really light coating of that on the so that it'll come out from underneath the paper as well. The bit down the bottom will actually get covered, so that was just my test to see what it was going to look like. I just wasn't sure about it at this stage, so I looked at it, I smudged things a little bit and added a few more splatters, but I'm still not too sure about it. But in the end, most of it gets covered up anyway, so it was okay. Okay, photo time. I had these photos printed out ages ago and I really wanted to use them. It's of my eldest daughter and one of her friends, and we had the paddle boats on our local river, and they thought they were so great. So it was feet up and let's go, which is really hard to do, to drive a paddle boat when you've got your feet sitting on the top. But hey, teenagers. So I decided also then that I needed to add some layers onto my photos before I put them on. So first of all, I used vellum. Well, actually it might be, I think it's actually tracing paper, drawing artist tracing paper. I really have to apologise. I spent so long faffing around with these photos trying to get an order, which order I wanted them in and how I was going to place them. We got there eventually. The one I decided was going to be my focal photo, I popped up with some foam tape. Then it was time to think about what embellishments and other ephemera I wanted to put in behind, and if I wanted to do any other layers, which I did do eventually. There was a pink fresh ephemera pack as well as some papers in this kit, so I used one of the pink fresh papers as a background. I think I will use others of it. I also used some of Bloom Street was also in it, and I loved that one by Paige Evans as well. This little sticker is from the Bloom Street sticker book. In fact, I used 2 stickers and I layered them up together. It doesn't really matter at the join because I'll be covering that up, but I thought that it added a little touch of bright for all the blues and greeny softer colours that I had in there, so I needed to sort of brighten it up a little bit. I also have some really cool little dies from Bramble Fox here, so I just used my good old trusty Cuttlebug, and I wanted 2 of the little square ones, so I ran it through twice with either side of the paper. I'd also gone through my Bloom Street embellishments by then and set some things aside that I thought I would use up in the top cluster. I knew that I wanted to use the little notepad die cuts in behind that first photo, so I just tucked them in behind. Oh, and I had that pink frame, that puffy frame that I had pre-cut, and I just really wanted to use it. And I've tucked it in I don't know how many places, and I put it away, and it will come back, it will go in there, and it will stay there for a couple of minutes before I decide that no, I really don't think that looks right. I just have some Scotch tacky glue in that glue bottle. That's the one I alternate between that Aleene's tacky glue, which you can't get any longer, which so sad about. And art glitter glue. Those are the ones that I use mostly, apart from my ATG for papers. I love this little rainbow so much, and I kept thinking it would go there. I really wanted to try and put that one in there, but it just didn't look right. So off it comes again. I will find a home for it eventually, but it's not for a minute or so yet. I decided, yes, I'd put the tag that way up. I needed to cut the bottom off to make it fit in the way I wanted. So, and also I like to outline things, so I did that before I put the string in, tucked it back in there. It's just the little die cut that I cut from Bramble Fox and popped in behind there. A few more little bits of ephemera from the Pink Fresh ephemera pack to fit in. I tried a few bigger pieces, but I decided they just did not look right. The green circle I did like though. And off comes the sticker. I think I've seen the end of that. Oh look, I tried another blue puffy sticker. That one's not going to last either. No, not on that one either. Okay, so we'll try some flowers and end up just using that little tag. And here's what I decide to put on and behind in the end. Just this little snippet of paper, and that made me happy. That was what I need. That's what it needed, I feel. There's a few more bits and pieces of layers to go on. I really like this postage stamp. It was very cool. I wasn't quite sure where I was going to put that though, so it kept slipping in behind. You couldn't see things when you do it that way, so I decided I liked that. I popped up just the back part of that photo. Back part of those. Built up a little bit more in behind that second photo. That's my main one. A little bit more Bloom Street ephemera there. It's got to be one of my favourite Beige Evan ones, I think. Starting to look a bit more like it should. So I'd cut that stamp in half, so didn't want to waste it in behind there. So then it was a case of where am I going to put it there. So I liked where it would there, but it still needed a little bit more. So we'll come back to that in a minute. Puffy stickers. Oh, look, there's that rainbow again. No, okay, let's change it. That bird, yes, the bird stays. We like the bird. Hey, and the rainbow's found its home finally. Okay, glued a little bit more. I think I'm going to add in a few more layers still on that main focal photo. Can't really have too many layers, I don't think. Oh, first of all though, this is a little bit of chipboard that I'd already pre-painted for another project some time ago, so I cut that in half and just put a couple, tucked it in behind 2 of the other photos. A little bit more pink fresh paper there. Yellow just gave it a nice little pop, and also it matched up then with the bird. Just tucked another little label in behind there as well. Can't have too many layers, I don't think. Sorry about the glare on the photos there. I was doing this at night time and I'm just getting used to how things will look. Okay, this was another Bramble fox. This is a perspective that I've had in my stash for a long time. I don't know why, because it's so cool. So anyway, it's going to go there. Somewhere along the way, maybe not in the video, I will see that my photo has slipped, so that goes back and gets fixed up, evened up a little bit yet. I tried a few different places where I was going to put this title in different ways. I was going to have it down on the waves at one part, but it just, I wasn't feeling it. So this is where it ended up. These are also from Paige Evans, those letters. The other ones that I'm just about to put on have been in my stash a while. Okay, so time to do some journaling. This is one of my favourite new ways of doing my journaling. I like to handwrite, but I've had too many times where I've just written straight onto my layout and then it's just not looked right. I've forgotten the words I wanted or something like that. So I handwrite onto the strip, just a bit of spare scrap card from a cut file or something, and then I will use some watercolour, and in this case I used a Lindy's powder called Hot Pink, and I just watered it down a lot because these are so strong. I used my water brush pen to start at one side and I just made a graduated colour over the writing. I also then outlined them, each little bit, and snipped them and put them on foam and mounted them on my waves. Getting close to a finish now, guys, so alright, a few more little splatters. That was also with the same Lindy's colour that I used before. And some bigger splatters too, because that was such a cool colour. Maybe a few more little puffies. Let's just have a wee look to see which ones we want to put on. These are some very old Amy Tan, I think. And lastly, some doodlebug sprinkles. Just a few more little puffies. Well, actually, I think they're enamel rather than puffies. That's the finished. Here's the finished project, and I've got a couple of close-ups for you. Please give me a thumbs up if you've liked this process video, and follow my channel if you'd like to see some more. You can probably tell that I'm a bit nervous, but I promise you that I'm going to get better as I go along. So thank you so much for watching.